Okay, in the last session we saw how we can run our test from the testng.xml. So I have created few more tests as well. So the same Google search only, but the text will be different. Let's search test. First, I have given the Facebook, then I have given the LinkedIn as well. So let's try to include that as well, those tests as well inside the testng. Just trying to duplicate these lines. Then after that, let's try to include those tests. So after that, testng. Then here when we try to run it, it will run in sequential order. Let's see how it works. So first it will start the browser, then it will maximize, then it will search with the Google text. Then after that it will close the browser, then it will open it again, then it will launch the second one with the Facebook text. Then after that it will close, then it will relaunch and it will start with the LinkedIn text. So three tests are passed in sequential order. All right. Let's see how we can implement parallel execution in TestNG. So we already saw we executed it in sequential order. Let's see how we can execute in parallel. So we have parallel attribute here. Here, since we have all test in classes, I'm selecting classes. Then after that, I'm selecting the thread count as 3. So if I run this one, the corresponding test will be running in parallel mode in 3 browsers. Let's see how we can see that. So currently it's in compiling. So executing the first test, then it will open up all the browsers in 3 browsers. See, all 3 tests are executed in parallel mode. So first test will be like for one browser, it will search for Google. For one, it will search for LinkedIn. One for Facebook as well. So likewise, we can do the parallel execution using testng. Then after the execution, we can see the result over here. So all tests executed successfully. As you can see here, we got all pass. So let's see how we can implement cross-browser testing using testng. So here we have already saw about how we can do the parallel execution using testng, right? So for all tests, what we can do, let's currently I'm just going to take out only one test that we can test in 3 different browsers. So for that, I'm going to do some changes in the testng as well as in my test. So here I'm going to create 3 tests with 3 different parameters like browser parameter. So here I'm going to eliminate all the parallel count values over here. Then after that, so as you can see here, inside the test, I can give some parallel tag. Inside the parallel tag, it will automatically populate the name and value. So name I'm giving it as like browser. This I'm going to make it as edge, and I'm going to copy this parallel one, sorry parameter one. Then I'm going to place it for each test so that I can initialize that parallel like sorry parameter value into 3 different values. So here I'm giving it as like Chrome. Here I'm giving it as like Firefox. So cross-browser testing is nothing but the same test we can execute in 3 or multiple browsers. That's it. For first test, I'm using the Edge browser. For the second test, I'm using the Firefox driver. The third one, I'll be using the Chrome driver as well. So let's see how we can receive this parameter. Since these are introduced as a at the rate test, right? We can use the parameter tag here. Inside the parameter tag, we can receive that using the same name over here. So we given as browser, right? So the same thing we can copy and paste it over here. So next thing will be this method should receive the value, so that I should give a parameter here. Then after that, so we are using init browser for initialization, right? So I'm just going to pass this parameter here and going to edit it accordingly in the init browser thing. So here I should have a string browser. Then here we are doing it, right? I'm just commenting it out. So currently I'm not using the config.property logic. I'm just editing with the parameter concept. So here I'll be doing like so we have the browser over here, right? So before that, let's try to, yeah, that's it. So we are passing it is in the lowercase only, right? So I'm not using this two lowercase into the browser, directly receiving it here from this browser tag parameter. Then after that, let's try to run it in parallel so that I can run it all this in the parallel mode, right? So the same thing. So since I had this other test as well, right, using the same logic, I'll get some compilation error. Just trying to edit it here. I'm not currently using it here. Not running this test. I'm only running this test in cross browsers. So let's try to implement some more things as well inside here. Suits. Let's try to run this test in parallel. Test thread count equal to 3. Try to run it from the testng.xml. So I'm expecting three different types of browser, and I should search with the Google search scenario. So three browsers will be opening parallelly. Then again, see the rest. Oh, oops, I got an error here. Cannot have the same name. All right. So currently, since I copied here, right, I didn't change this Google test one. And so Google test in, let's make some difference. Here we'll be using in Firefox, right? Let's do it in Firefox. And then change this value accordingly. Let's rerun the same and see the execution. So currently it is initializing the test. Then first one it will be executed in Chrome. So three browsers opened parallelly: Firefox, Chrome, and Edge. So the same test will be executed in three different browsers. That's it. As you can see here, Google search. It will search with the Google text. That's it. So likewise, we can do the parallel testing in cross-browser testing as well. So that's it. Oh, this is the next. Let's see how we can implement any report into our TestNG hybrid framework. So let's see, in our framework, as of now, we have done with the base class, and we implement the page object model design pattern. We had the utility classes, then we created a test as well, right? So using TestNG test, we saw how we can do the parallel execution and cross-browser testing as well. So let's see how we can implement the reporting strategy. So for that, I'm just going to create a package. So inside the package, I'm just giving a package name, reporting. And under the reporting, currently I have a automation report class I have already created, right? I'll explain that. I'm just placing it here inside the reporting. So automation report. So for TestNG, right, we have different listeners are available. This is one of the listener. I test listener. So listeners are nothing but they can listen all the activities or all the test execution steps happening while execution. So all the pass and failure and all the steps will be recorded inside the TestNG listener. So we'll be creating a class that will implement this TestNG listener interface. It is an interface. That's why we are using the implements. Otherwise, we'll be using the extends keyword. So after that, before that, what we have to do is, since it is using the TestNG, sorry, extend reporting strategy, right, we should take out the dependency for it. So let's take out the dependency for testng listener. I should get it from the maven repository. So after that, just paste it here and just try to refresh it, the maven project. So all the jar related files will be downloaded inside the dependencies session here, as you can see here, right? And after that, we can come back to the report automation report class. After that, let's try to import all the things. So after pasting it, this report class, right, we'll be getting the red highlighted things. Then after that, we can just do the changes. So as you can see here, right, we'll be getting all the importer related and all the logic related things. Mouse over it, you can import the class. Then after that, come down. Here they are mentioned about the driver, right? In our case, we'll be using the get driver class from the base class. So this one. So to for that also we need to import the corresponding thing. All right. Then after that, let's try to run it run it from testng.xml. This is where we are trying to run the test, right? So before that, we need to do one more thing. We need to give the listener over here inside the testng.xml file. So let's see how we can do that. So inside the testng.xml file, under suite, we can give the listeners, since we implemented that from a listener, right? So we can give the listener name over here. So the class name is like under the reporting we have done, right? So reporting dot automation report, that will be the listener you'll be using throughout the project, right? So make that change and try to run it. So also meanwhile, let's see to explore more on that automation report thing. So if you see here, right, it is mentioning all the methods on start what is happening, and it will set all the system info into the report, give the browser name, then all exception handling, then on test start what is happening, that is mentioned here. Also report steps, it will track all the steps, then assign category. On test success, what will happen, they mentioned it over here. So everything they have mentioned it over here. Then what we have to do is we have to do the correct step to correct directory to accumulate this report, right? So currently I have done, right, under the reports directory, let's have a name like this and append with a file path date. I'm just getting a date, and the it will be in the HTML format as well. So let's see that the execution completed. As you can see in the console, right, it is passed for all tests. Then after that, just trying to refresh the project. So reload from disk. Here's the directory under it. We should have a reports folder first. Before that, target disk. So we got it from here, right? Reports.html. So let's create a directory to hold the same reports. And after that, let's try to rerun it from here. So I should get the reports inside here so that I can make sure that I have implemented the reporting strategy perfectly. So searching with Google, so it has all the cross-browser testing browsers. After that, so it is executing the last test inside the Firefox. So executed successfully. So if you see, if you try to reload this, the report will be generated here. Let's go to the Open in Explorer and try to open the report. So if you see here, right, so modify it accordingly and see. So this is my cross-browser testing report. As you can see here, all report passed, right? So that's it. That's it, guys. So we have done with this session. So currently we have a full-fledged automation framework, and we developed it from scratch, and we implemented the layered structure. Layered structure is nothing but we have all the base class pages. For pages, we have using the page factory. So we are using the page object model design pattern, and we have done with the reporting strategy, and we done with the utilities as well, right? Then for configuration purpose, under resources, we created a config file. From here, we are loading the URL. Then under test, under Java, we have all the test cases, right? Also, we have the report directory where we are getting all the reports after the execution. So that's all from my end, guys. This was the final session for our automation framework development. So let's try it from your end and come back to me if you have any clarification or comments, right? Let me know in the comment section as well. So I'll make out the videos on that. So thank you all. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next series. Thank you.